Hello, everyone. How's everybody tonight? Welcome in. I'm just getting started, so please say hello and tell us where you're joining from. Tonight, we're gonna do spiritual Q&A and mini readings. Oh, hi, Lola. How are you? Thank you. How are you doing tonight? Well, happy Memorial Day. Did anybody do anything fun? Aloha, Catherine from L. Where's L? LA, Louisiana. What other L's are there? Oh, you went to a powwow? Awesome. I know it's powwow season. That's the best part of summer. To go and have some fun. How's everybody? We got 44. It's Monday. And there we go. You went to Mexico? Wow. Or New Mexico? Did you go to the what's it called? The big one in New Mexico, Gathering of Nations. I haven't been to that one yet. Here in Denver, we have one every March. That is the big one too. That one's fun. So how's everybody tonight? Oh, okay, hold on a second. All right. All right, so today we're going to answer your spiritual questions. So if you have any spiritual questions, and I'm also going to do mini readings. So if you'd like a reading, I'll randomly pick people, but also if you would like to guarantee a reading, you could get a mini reading for $25, and you could pay me via Venmo or Cash App. I haven't done readings in a while, and today's spirit was like, oh, you need to do readings. So if you want a reading, let me know. I'll probably be on here for about an hour. Hi, Blissful Oracle. Happy Monday. I'm like juggling a lot of stuff here. Oh, let's see. The ladybug spirit has been popping up lately. Oh, you love my insight. Ladybug is good. The thing about the ladybug is you have to count the spots. Have you heard about that? Where when you have ladybugs, you have to count how many spots there are, because the spots will tell you how many blessings you're going to get. And also it will tell you, like a number. So you can look at the number, and then you can think about, like, in your own life, you know how a couple weeks ago we talked about the power of numbers. So numbers can tell you a lot about the energy, the vibration, where you are in your life, what's going on, that kind of stuff. So when you get a ladybug, it means good fortune, good luck. Just think about the power of the ladybug. The ladybug eats the insects that are non-beneficial to your garden. The aphids, the things that eat your plants up, that's what the ladybug does. So that's what her medicine will blow into your life, is good luck, blessings, and also, the ability to get rid of the harmful bugs or what we call toxic energies. You know what I mean? The toxic energies of your life. And then you think about your own life, what is toxic? And what do you want to get rid of? What's a spiritual reading like? I've never had a reading. Oh, you never had a reading? I don't know. My iPad is acting up though for some weird reason. Okay. A spiritual reading, in the spiritual reading, we can go into everyday stuff. When I do little mini readings, what I do is I connect to your spirit, and then I'll have a combination of visions, senses, vibrations, feelings, senses of knowing, and where the healing needs to be, that kind of stuff. So spiritual reading is like what you need to hear most, the most important thing about where you are, what's coming up next, what healing is going on, and a message. And sometimes, in a deeper reading, like if you book a full reading, we could go into your ancestors, spirit guides, challenges, lessons, soul path, a variety of stuff. A spiritual reading is a look at where you are, where you're going, why you're here, what the healing is. It can be a whole plethora of stuff. Sometimes past loved ones will come in. So that's what I do. I do a whole lot of different stuff. Yeah, I'm doing mini readings today if my system holds up. You're welcome, Catherine. Oh man, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I can get in. But I'm gonna open the door here soon for readings. And I'm gonna do some spirit guided readings. So I'll just randomly pick people who want a reading. And then if you really want a reading for sure, and it'll be $25 via my Venmo or Cash App, and you can see that information on the link in my bio. I'm sorry, my system though is kind of not right. You love my dream catcher. Yeah. The dream catchers, they have to be made in a certain way for them to be legitimate. I know everybody likes the real pretty ones, and I have some really nice ones too, but I noticed that the ones that I really like are the traditional ones. I hope my system holds up. I'm getting some weird messages here. There must be something spiritually going on here. Hold on. Anyways, so how's everybody today? I just have to check one thing real quick here. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. All right, so does anybody else have any spiritual questions or want to share anything? Let's see if we can. Good, you're good? Oh, good. Oh, pretty good. I'm doing good. You got a ceremonial dream catcher from Anishinaabe. Nice. Good, thank you. Everybody's doing good. No questions. All right. Sorry, I'm still trying to get my system right. Let's see, anybody on YouTube? Hello, Alta. How are you? Your husband died. Is he at peace? I'm sorry, your husband died. One thing I'll tell you, because I'm not going to start doing readings yet, but one thing I'll tell you, because that's the number one question people ask in medium readings is, are they at peace? Are they okay? You can hardly hear me. See, I'm having some technical problems. That's why I'm kind of waiting, because something is not quite aligned yet. But is anybody else having problems hearing me? Because my system's kind of acting funny. I don't know what's going on. But one thing I'm going to tell you about how to know if somebody's at peace, like an ancestor's at peace, is your dreams. And the dream world will tell you. So after somebody dies, we tend to have dreams about them, and dreams are healing. Dreams are finishing unclosed business. So like say somebody died unexpectedly, or you weren't prepared, or, something was going on. And the spirits will come back and, give messages, talk about things that they wanted to resolve, tell you about upcoming things. There's a lot of things that will happen in the dream world. But how you will know your loved one is at peace is how they appear to you. Now, if you ever have your ancestors and they appear like something's wrong with their face, or they're super skinny, or they look like really bad, then you know something's not going right in the spirit world, and you need to give them some spirit money, some spiritual currency, which is the offerings. You can burn spirit money, all the things that I talk about on my page. Because, in mediumship, in Western mediumship, they don't talk about these things. But in shamanism, one of the most important things we look at is our ancestors and the health of our ancestors, because the health of our ancestors is going to give us the health of our lineage. It's going to tell us, oh, yeah, your lineage is good. So the way you want to see your ancestors and past loved ones when you have dreams is you want to see them like plumpy. You want to see them full, bright face, looking good, healthy. You might have dreams when they were like younger, if they died when they're older, but they're looking good. That's when you know the health of your lineage and your ancestors are looking good. Now, when you start having disturbing dreams, like people have told me about like different dreams where the ancestors were not, looking good, or they were kind of restless or nervous, or what we call hungry ghosts, they were like wanting food or something, then you have to do offerings and altar stuff. That's why they're coming to you. And ancestors will always choose like a certain people in the lineage to go to. They will always know where to go for what they need. And then right now, probably some of you might be having light bulb moments like, oh, yeah, I had this dream about my grandma or my grandpa or my mom or my dad or my husband or my wife or whatever. And now you'll know, oh, they wanted this, or I need to feed them some water, at least water. Hi, April. Good evening. And so, yeah, you said your friend who passed 20 years ago came to you in a dream today. Ain't that something? And we're talking about, okay, you guys can hear me. Oh, good. No, you can't hear me. Oh. Okay, let's see. All right. Yeah. So when your ancestors come to you and they're looking good, and the dream, like for instance, my aunt, she just recently had a dream of my dad who passed in 2022. And she said she saw him and they were having a conversation, and there was like beautiful, like kind of Hawaii looking cliffs and ocean and this and that. And she really got a lot of peace from that, because it was such a beautiful, peaceful, and he looked good. He looked good. He didn't look like he was struggling or having a hard time. And that's what you want to look for when you're having dreams, especially spiritual dreams, is that your ancestors, your past loved ones, the people you love and adore, or that you knew in your life, could be friends. Because when we talk about ancestors, we're talking about anybody who's passed. And if they're looking good, then that means that, they're doing well in the spirit world. And that's just for everybody, to know. Now, if you're not having any dreams and you're deep in grief, then sometimes the spirits, they won't come. They won't come when we're deep in grief and we're, having a hard time, because they know that maybe it'll make us even sadder or harder time. Because, in the indigenous way, it's different than the Western way, because when somebody passes, we emphasize the letting go process. Because when we hold on to that person, and we're in really deep grieving, and we don't want to let go of their things, and we want to hold on, it delays their spiritual progress. It delays them going into the spirit world, because now they're so concerned about us and our health and our life. And they too have to go through a process. And so like for 1 year, it's really important to like do the letting go process. because then it's better for the person and the spirit who's leaving. So it's a different philosophy, a different mindset, a different theme. And yes, we can receive messages from the spirit world and we can connect to ancestors. But ultimately, that's the number one question people always ask me are they okay? And sometimes, it's not them. Like it will go into the reading and it's actually not them that you have to be concerned about. It's some other ancestor that you don't even know or didn't even care about, or, that's clogging up the whole lineage. A lot of times we'll go in there and we'll be like, that wasn't the person, but that's the person that's in the most dire need of offerings and healing. My husband has dreams where he watches his ancestors die. I need to tell him to do ancestor work, huh? Well, that's really powerful though, because then if he's having dreams of where his ancestors died and how they died, and there's something unresolved there. Yeah, do some offerings, do some altar work. It's always violent, yeah. Because there's a pattern there. When we start seeing dreams like that, we're going to notice patterns. We're going to see something. We're going to see like generational patterns of violence or something that probably your husband, because the dreams are coming to him, is now like part of his clearing and part of his responsibility to the spirit world of releasing that, that violence and that trauma. See, those kind of dreams always go to the people who are like the healers of the family, the ones who the spirit world says, okay, you're going to be the one to heal this. Our hope is in you. Yeah. And the thing about like violent dreams and things like that, those are ancestral memories or clearing dreams. And that's when, he was angry for for years until 3 years ago. Oh, good. Well, I hope he understands that, he has a gift. If he can see that stuff, I bet you too, what they're telling me about your husband is that your husband has the ability to see other things in his dreams that happen. So like prophetic dreams, like he might have something, what do you call it? Like a dream, and then it'll happen. They moved him today, Denver's children. Now he is happy. Oh, good. They moved him today. Who did they move to the Denver Children's Hospital? I'm sorry, I missed something. Hi, soaring eagle woman. You have flowers and water on your altar. That's good. We're having this like, oh, you're welcome, Constant. We're right in the middle of like a big transformation because we're heading into summer solstice in a few weeks. Was it like 3 weeks or something? And so now things start to shift and change. So think about in your own life, like what's starting to shift and change. And then the spirit world is going to start bringing in messages. He's been on 80% oxygen, running a fever of 104.5. And he was swelling of the brain. Oh my goodness. Who are we talking about, Soaring Eagle? I'm sorry, I think I missed a comment. But I'm sorry to hear that. And you said it's a children's hospital. So is this a grandchild? Yeah. There's some wonky energy. Sorry. So if you have, your great grandson, Octavius, he's 4 years old. Oh, no. Well, I'll definitely send him some prayers. Let me write his name down. I do my prayers every morning and night. So I do my altar work in the morning and then I do my altar work at night. So, if anybody else has some prayers like that, just let me know. Let me write his name down. But I feel like he's going to be fine. They're saying he's going to be fine. Octavius. Okay. Yeah, it's going to take a few days for his swelling to go down because the medicine they're going to give him. but it'll go down and he'll be fine. So just keep in the prayers. Just keep doing your prayer work. And don't feed the emotions. Okay, I know it's hard, especially on the mother, but they're saying don't feed the emotions. Oh, good. Yeah, keep praying, keep getting the love and support, but they're saying he'll be fine within the next 3 days. Things start going down. But don't feed the emotions, because there's a lot of emotions running around with this. And yeah, you're the one who's got to stay in the calmness, because you're the pillar. So you're gonna, as long as you're calm, everything else starts to calm down. Everything will start to, right. All right. Oh yeah, I would love to do that. Constant chaos. When the timing's right, everything always works out. That's the way readings and healing work goes. So you never have to worry about that stuff, because it will work in the perfect time at the perfect place. But in the meantime, write down your dreams, especially your husband, and see, do you guys dream walk together? Have you tried that? Has anybody tried dream walking with somebody else? They're afraid that the damage was caused by the abuse from my granddaughter. Yeah. I was kind of feeling that for you, Soaring Eagle, that with your grandson. Part of the reason why he's in the hospital is to get away from the situation he was in. And, it's for the best of everybody. Yeah, but he'll be okay. It's not going to be long-term stuff. It'll be short-term stuff. So that's good. Hi, Sonia. How are you? Sorry, my cats are acting up. My computer's acting. You know how you hope everything goes smooth and then everything get all weird and wonky? Oh, you haven't? You have dreams? Hello, Gillespie. Yeah, the dreams right now, you got to write them down. If you're on this live and you're hearing me speak and you're having dreams, write them down, because we're in the transition. This is like an important time for the spirit world to communicate. Just getting ready for work. You're starting to question your friends. I don't like this feeling. Oh, you're welcome, Soaring Eagle Woman. What do you mean you're starting to question your friends? If you're having dreams, write them down. Let's see here. Oh, you keep feeling energy all the time. What are we discussing tonight in your readings tonight? Yeah. Today I'm doing spiritual Q&A, and then also mini readings. So if you want a reading, I'm going to be randomly choosing here. I'm just waiting for the energy to settle. But if you want a for sure reading, then you can Venmo or Cash App me $25. But I'm going to be choosing people. But right now the energy is not quite there yet. So I'm just kind of going with the chat right now until things kind of settle down, because my computer kept giving me this weird warning that it was going to crash on me. Now it seems to have gone away. And then, everything got wonky after that. Hello, Carrie. So I think it's like waiting for the people to come in that need the reading. That's the way I'm interpreting it. I get frenemy vibes from them. Well, then trust that. Okay, got it. Hello. I don't know, something I'm feeling for you, Blissful, though, with that is you move too fast in relationships. Slow it down. Don't talk too much. Don't talk too much. Keep things to yourself, check people out more, until you're sure and you really establish a secure relationship, then you can share your heart. Because I feel like you share your heart too much. And because you share your heart, then you start to understand that people are not as giving and kind as you and as loving, and they might have ulterior motives. So before you give your heart, check them out. Do the stare down. It's like, I call it the stare down. In Asia and Korean culture, when we meet somebody, we don't just like them right away. We kind of really check them out. We go this way, we go that way. And actually the best place to check somebody out, I'm going to give you a face reading lesson, is not front. People hide who they are right here. This is where they hide themselves. You can make this look really good. Okay. Where you read people is from the side. That's where you're going to see who they are. Like an old native pictures of, the ancestors and stuff, they always showed them from the side because they were showing who they are. You can't hide yourself from the side angle. You can hide yourself all here. Okay. Right here. We can hide who we are. But right here. Okay. You're a medium and have a message. Nice. Okay, thank you. So try it. That's good advice for everyone to keep in mind. Yeah, keep it in mind. I've been having a big emotional purge over the past week. It felt like it came out of nowhere. Also feeling strongly to go back to my hometown that I haven't been to in a long time. Yeah, that's because High Noon, you have some unresolved healing in your hometown. That's what all those emotions are. So what you want to do in your case is you want to feel the journal, do some journaling around what is the big emotional purge that you had. So what is the main emotion or feeling that that's been coming out of you? And how is that related to your hometown and what you experienced in the hometown, and even possibly why you left your hometown? And I think when you do that first, and then you go to your hometown, you will experience a big healing. You will experience a big epiphany. You will go there and have a fonder sense than if you went there after the purge, so to say. So before you go there, you have to process and integrate what it is you just purged, and then resolve whatever it is that comes up through that. Does that make sense? Because this week, that's why the energy is all wonky right now, is really powerful. This next cycle that we're heading into June, because we're about to head into June 1st, that's like really powerful. And the solstice is where all of the harvesting is going to happen, like what you're going to put down for this next cycle. And so the purge is coming because you're releasing something old so that you can receive something new and put that foundation down. Okay. Sonia, are you still on here? I will email you, but you want the amulet? Yeah, we can work that out. I have Zelle. So I'm wondering if there's something my guide spirits think I need to work on now. You don't care if it's personal? Okay. Should we open the portal now for the readings? You guys want me to do the readings now? Does the energy feel better? Okay, you're still here. Okay. Yeah, you can Zelle. I have Zelle, but I'll email you after the live. Hello, Planet Mula. Planet Mula came in. So is there any other spiritual questions, like, or any question? Otherwise, I'm going to start picking people for a reading. We've already did a little bit of readings. I think I saw something else. Somebody else was saying something. Hold on a second. Let me go back up. Well, thanks for the rose. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for the butterflies. Oh, pretty. Should we see what the medium has to say? Are you still on here, medium? What was your message? All right. I think I missed a thing, but it might come back. Yes. Nice. All right, so there's no more questions. All right, so who wants a message? Did anybody else have a prayer request for a loved one or themselves? Yes, please. Okay. All right. So if you want a reading, then, oh, wait, let's go into your brother's prayer request. Okay. Wait, for you. Okay. Okay, Sonia, one prayer. Okay. Who else has a prayer request? Your brother. Can you give me his first name? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Lola. Okay, any other prayer requests while I got the book open? Oh, April. I think we all need some prayers. Okay, Annie. Annie, right. That's your daughter, Sparrow. Arturo. You guys are confirming something for me because I want to do a prayer request night where we just like, I'm going to set it all up and do prayers. Because I think we all need a lot of prayer right now. There's a lot of wonky stuff in the world. Okay. All right. So let's go on to readings. You're welcome. I do my prayers tonight before I go to bed. So just know I'll be praying for everybody, you know, whether you say it or not. But if you said something, I'll send special prayers for each one of you. Oh, you too, sweet pea. Okay. You're welcome. Okay. So now if you want a message, then what you'll have to do right now is put an emoji. Okay. An emoji, and then I will pick the one that spirit decides. Okay. And when you're putting your emoji, you know, think about like your question too. What do you really want to know? And it could be general, it could be, you know, but just kind of have an idea so that we can kind of direct it a little more. I also have my Care Bear stickers. Okay, let's see here. All right, so put your emoji down and then I'm gonna pick one. Pick one. Oh, I already got one. You like one too? Okay. All right, so stick around because I'm gonna try to get through as many as possible. Okay. Oh, some filtered. Uh-oh, we already have some filtered messages. All right. Okay. All right, so High Noon Lilith. That's the one I'm gonna pick. High Noon Lilith. Are you ready? High Noon Lilith. Okay, there you are. Okay, High Noon Lilith. So High Noon Lilith, first, what I want you to do is just close your eyes. And everybody can close their eyes. But High Noon Lilith, I want you to close your eyes. I'm going to rattle for a minute because I'm going to rattle some energies out of you because they're saying that you're really, you're bogged up with some anxiety and fear. And so what the rattle will help you do is as I'm rattling, I want you to imagine like all this heavy density is falling off of you. And then I'm going to connect to your spirit and see what the message is. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes and breathe in and out. And we're going to rattle. And so for everybody watching, you too can rattle. You can close your eyes and just allow the rattle sound to move all the heavy density out of your being, out of your vibration, out of your energy. When we rattle, we're shaking out old energy, and we're also calling in new energy. So let's just take a nice deep breath in and out as we rattle all the old away. And breathing in and out. Okay, so I'm just going to take a moment to connect to your spirit now. Okay, so for high noon, high noon Lilith. This next cycle is really important for you to let go of your fear, anxiety, worry, and doubt. And I feel like you're about to have, if you haven't already, an emotional release, because the energy that I'm feeling in your vibration is a very like anxiety ridden and a lot of worries and doubts and fears. And some of that is going to be coming up for healing in the next couple weeks. So what I would recommend for you is you do a sea salt bath and you cleanse everything out and you cry. You allow yourself to really cry, because there's a lot of old energy shaking out of you. And that's why I did the rattle, because it's going to help you release some of that energy that's trapped in your body. And there's a lot of old traumas and a lot of old, what we call wins or memories, that are coming up for healing and resolution right now. And it's a vulnerable time. So be sure to take good care of yourself. And there was something I needed to share with you about your left side, and it comes across like the left eye. So if you've been having any kind of itching or sensations on the left side, it could also be like ear stuff. It's going to be on the left side. It's about healing your ability to receive, because they're also telling me that you're a very sensitive person and a spiritual person, and you have incredible gifts, but you are more of a giver than a receiver. And at this time in your life, it's about receiving too, like unconditionally receiving help, love, support, gratitude, not having to push and force things, but more now like, and that's the energy that's going to help you with this anxiety and fear and all this trapped emotion. So I hope that helps you. And if you have any questions on that, let me know. Oh, hi, Lavender Moon and Judy and everybody on YouTube. I'm going to pick a YouTuber one here in a minute. But Carol, will you see your dead daughter in a dream? You're curious about the spiritual gifts? Yeah, that could also be why you're going through that big purge you're going through, because in order to receive your spiritual gifts completely and fully, you have to let go of the old. Um, especially what they're saying, like around rejection. Yeah. I would say your strongest gift is empath, like feeling. You're somebody who feels a lot of energy. Right, there's some kind of weird message here. How long is too long for grieving? Hmm. That all depends on the death. It depends on first the impact of death. So is it a sudden and unexpected, like car accident, suicide, um, something that was so traumatic, versus a natural old age death that was expected? You got to say your goodbyes, you had a process of letting go. That is a much easier death to handle than a shocking death, like, oh my God. Or young, beautiful, young, had their whole life ahead of them, and boom, car accident, drug overdose, suicide. Those deaths are much harder to process and grieve. But typically around 7 years. Like if you have a very big, impactful, especially like the death of a child, if a child died and it was so unexpected and awful, the minimum time for grieving in those situations, and suicide and the grief of a child are on the same spectrum, is around 7 years. However, like a normal death, by 1 year, you should be like back to your functioning self. Not the same, because you'll never be the same after a big death, but functional, where you can get up and you can go about your day. And of course, you're going to still miss your person and this, that, and the other. But the ancestors said about a year, and modern psychology says about a year, except for in traumatic situations where it can take up to 7 years. And sometimes sometimes people never come back from big death. And that's when we do, what they call soul retrievals and stuff like that, because we want to help them. You're welcome, High Noon Lilith. Thank you for being a resource to so many. I hope that you're doing well, SongBirdGrandMother. Oh, thank you so much, Alma Mira. Yeah, I'm doing one. Good. I think she's been dead going on 4 years. She died with a master heart attack. You're welcome, Homo Weaver. Now who are we talking about for death? Sorry. Yeah, massive heart attack, out of the blue. That's a little harder death to process and integrate. But the biggest thing around death, like I said earlier, is the letting go process. And some people are more stubborn than others. Like it's harder to let go. If you're somebody who holds on and has a lot of control, like, you have a lot of trauma, that's what control is, and somebody dies unexpectedly, you're going to expect a longer healing time. You're going to expect things to go on longer because of the personality type. Some people just, and I think part of it is just our society doesn't prepare us for death. There are societies and cultures where death is normal, accepted, and you're prepared for it. In our USA, modern Western society, unless it's cultural, unless you're part of a culture that has a process to it, most people are not prepared for death. And they're not prepared for the grieving process that goes on with death. And when it happens, it's like a huge shock to the system. And that's why when people die, nobody knows how to, they don't know what to do. Like when somebody dies, everybody just thinks of it like, oh no, you got the plague or something, right? Hi, Nicole. And so, everybody's grieving process is different. And I think the most important thing through a grieving process is to allow the grieving to happen. Don't repress it. Don't reject it. Don't push it away. Don't think it's something unnatural, because we're all going to die. Every single one of us is going to die. And it's a normal part of life. It's not a joyful part of life. It's not something that's we want to happen, but it's natural. It's natural. And it shouldn't be feared. And you shouldn't fear your grief. Because what I have come to know about grief, because I've had a lot of death in my life, is that grief is the love. And that's the thing, you have to think about it. It's the great love that you had for that person or being, like a pet and stuff. It's the great love. And when that grief happens, it's just awakening your heart. It's awakening your soul. It's awakening you to something greater than yourself that you didn't know when the person was alive. You know what I mean? Like when somebody dies, it's like all this emotion, all this energy, all this sadness, all this sorrow, all this unresolved healing happens. And it's to awaken your heart. It's to bring you into a place of pure love, even though it's so hard. Grieving is very hard. It's just no way around it. It's not something we want. It's not something we expect. It's not something we plan for. Even when you know somebody is going to die, when they die, it's heartbreaking, especially, depending on the relationship you had, whether it was a good relationship or bad relationship. We all grieve in a certain way. And there's no right or wrong way to grieve. You can't say, well, I've been grieving now for 10 years. It's not a time thing. It's more just about, whatever the heart is saying. And that's why grief is hard. And that's why we in our Western culture don't know how to deal with it, because we don't have any rituals or ceremonies or things. And that's why, the ancestor altar is so powerful, because more than anything, the ancestor altar is a grieving process. It gives you a time, place, and space to honor the dead. We have Dia de los Muertos. We have those kind of days in certain cultures, and like in Eastern culture, Native culture, we do spirit plates. We have these places and spaces for grief. And that's what they really ultimately are too. And it's a relationship. But you're welcome. Let's see here. I cry all the time. I'm on depressed medicines. That's okay. That's okay, Carol. If you can, do an ancestor altar and see how that helps you. And just, when you're doing the altar, think about all the good things. Try to really remember all the good things and say, whatever is in your heart and mind, because grief is love persevering. Oh, I like that. I used to be so scared of death until recently I built a strong relationship with my ancestors. Yeah. And that's what, that's what an altar will do too. It'll build up your ancestral power. It'll bring in your ancestors, and it will also help you heal and grieve and not fear death. Because when you have an altar, you understand that it's just a line that you cross when you die. It's not, some faraway place. Because in the altar, it's like, here they are. They're right here. They're right here. This is the line that we cross in death. And this is why a lot of people have that dream where, like they'll have a dream where they see the person who's passed and they'll be like right across the road or right on, like my mom, she had a dream when her dad died of him being like on the other side of a fence. And a lot of times when I'm doing readings and the ancestors come in, it's like if they're close death, like if it was just a year ago or something, they'll appear like so close. And that's my knowing, oh, it wasn't that long ago they passed. They're still very close to your heart. And sometimes longer, like the longer time it goes, part of the grieving process too, and one of the ways people struggle with letting go is they don't want to forget the person. Like they think as more time goes on and they're living their lives and doing their things that, oh, I can't remember this, or I'm starting to lose memories, or, that's part of the letting go process. And that's normal and perfectly fine. Oh, you're crying now, Carol? That's good though. I know it's hard. You changed your life. You trust the path now. But it was close. Yeah, the closer you are, the more unexpected it was, the deeper the grief and the deeper the love. And I think if you're not already doing ancestor altars and working in that realm, try it and see. Do some offerings and work on, just that relationship, that person hasn't gone in anywhere, because energy never is destroyed. It's only transformed. And now you have, as they say, like an angel or a spirit guide in the celestial realms, in the spirit world. The only time we have to really worry about an ancestor, or we start thinking, something's not going right, is when we have those dreams like I was talking about, or there's other little signs like dreams where the ancestor looks terrible, or very odd things they're doing in a dream, violent dreams, nightmarish dreams, dreams that they're like reaching to you and they look, like nightmarish, terrible dreams. But if you're not having those things and your life is pretty smooth outside of the grief, then you don't have to worry about your ancestors being in peace, because they're in peace. Now, there's a lot of other things I could talk about with that, but that's the main message. Because main message I get from people who want to connect to their ancestors is, are they okay? And from their end, this is the funny thing, from the spiritual end, from the spirit world, their question is, are you okay? You know what I mean? Their question is, are you okay? Are you okay? Because when you're okay, they can soar, they can fly, they can go forward, they can get away. They can go forward in their journey. Ghosts rattle the spoons in my mom's kitchen. I thought she was making it up until I witnessed it. Yeah, spirits talk like that. Sometimes when I know the spirit world is near is when I'm starting to do spiritual stuff, and like cracking will happen. Like in your house, what they call settling or whatever, but out of nowhere, like right when I'm singing or I'm drumming or I'm working with a client or something's going on, I'll start to hear like my furniture or something in the room will crackle or make noise. And that's spirit. So when you're with your mother in her kitchen, the rattling's happening, you can connect to it and see, who was with us. It could be grandma, it could be grandpa, it could be a spirit in the house, it could be anything. Spirits speak. They speak in many, many ways. All right, let's do another reading. Let's see here. Let's go over here. We got some people on YouTube. Okay, let's do a YouTube reading. So everybody in YouTube, put up an emoji. And if you have a question while I'm waiting for the person, you can ask it. Or if you have an experience with spirit, if you have experience. I know, is Nicole, are you still on here? I think you have a lot of spiritual. If you want to share something, because I know Nicole got some stories. I just got your text too. That's crazy. See how powerful you are? You knew that was coming. Okay, let me look at YouTube here. All right, Lavender Moon 444. You ready for your reading? That's crazy. But look at where you were too, guiding light. Yesterday, you went to your center to do internship, and I was recording, and I saw an orb. Nice. What kind of orb did you see? Which one? Yeah, I know you've had so many. When I try to meditate, I always hear my TV starts making. I know, isn't that annoying? You know what I used to have happen to me all the time when I'd be out on the land and I'm trying to do something, a big old helicopter like flying right above me, like it never fails. When you try to go to meditate, something is going to try to stop you from meditating, and that's the whole point of meditation, is that you don't indulge in the distractions. That's a test too. That's kind of a test and a training for you, is that when the TV come on, you got to turn it off. You did a tarot reading on your friend, and the message delivery, the time clock registered a user. It was the size of a golf ball, and it was transparent, and it was super fast. There was nobody there. Yet someone started vacuuming. Always something. Always. All right, Lavender Moon, are you still with us? I gotta wait for you too. Hold on, let me refresh. I'm gonna do a reading here. Okay. Lavender Moon, are you claiming your reading or not? I have to give YouTube a minute because there's a lag or something going on. There's always something. It's always something, like big old helicopter vacuuming. And one time I was working with a student and he was like, I wish I could meditate, but every time I try to meditate, this loud noise happens. We could start a club, meditating with loud noise club. But that's how it goes. And I feel like that's a spiritual thing, because it's fortifying your meditation. Because in our dream world of meditation, we would be able to sit down, everything quiet, beautiful, pristine, environment, lovely smells. We think that's the dream meditation world. The reality of a dream meditation world is like drills and electric saws and helicopters and TVs and vacuuming. That's really what the reality of a dream, meditation space is, right? All right, Lavender Moon is ready. All right, let's now connect with Lavender Moon. All right, so Lavender Moon's ready. All right, Lavender Moon. So take a nice deep breath in and out. All right. Okay. All right, Lavender, let's go in. I'm going to go ahead and connect with Lavender Moon. So everybody just take a nice deep breath in and out and do a little mini reading here. Lavender is a very interesting message I have for you. Okay, so they're talking about the next 4 months of your life. So the first thing that they said about you, Lavender Moon, is you have the gift of clairvoyance, which means you can see things before they happen. That's your gift. And you can know things. So they're saying within the next 4 months, you have to definitely trust that knowing, that vision. You're going to be receiving a vision, and it's going to come through kind of like a flash. It's not going to be something you can pre-know, but it's going to be a flash. And they're saying that vision is going to save your life. And it could be mentally, it could be emotionally, it could be physically, it could be spiritually, but it's going to actually save your life. So you have to pay attention. The next 4 months is going to be a very powerful time for spiritual awakening, but especially with that clairvoyance. And I want you to work with clearing of third eye in meditation, prayer, and wearing the stone lapis lazuli. So I know that's kind of an interesting one, because they said it's going to literally save your life. Like, this vision that you're going to receive is going to be life-changing, and you can't doubt it. And I think that's why you're chosen for the spirit message, because it's going to be a powerful message and you could miss it, but it's going to be something you see. It could come through the dream world. It could come through a meditation. It can come through a vision. Are you working currently on developing your gift of sight? What does lapis lazuli look like? It's a dark blue stone. Dark blue stone. They said that Cleopatra used to crush it up and put it in her makeup, but it's the stone of the teacher. Now, Ramtam, did your grandmother listen to country music? She said that her grandmother who died was trying to connect with her in a dream. Oh, maybe you wouldn't know, huh? If you can, write down the lyrics of that dream, of that song, if you saw it. Because when spirit is connecting through your ear, like a song, that means that's like clairaudience. So also you want to be cognizant if you're receiving messages, you might get buzzing in the ear or like a ding, that kind of thing. You might get that. And that will say, you're getting a message. So you have to develop that. Okay, Lavender, you are working on your clairvoyance. Good. So keep working on your clairvoyance. Write down any and all visions, prophecies, anything you're receiving, and trust it, especially in the next 4 months. And then you're going to know, like, something's going to actually literally save your life. I know it's a funny message, but that's what they told me. But you're meant to do psychic work, whether it's for people or not, but you are a seer. So you have to develop that. And you already know that. I hope that helps. Lavender, you work with moths. You work with the moths. And moths is the nocturnal nighttime. So you're also probably going to receive dreams about mediumship and things like that. You work with the afterlife too. That's why you need the lapis lazuli. And I bet you, if you don't already do it now, you will in the future work with the emerald tablets and the Egyptian, what's that called? Egyptian Book of the Dead. You're going to work with that system somehow. Yeah, the moths. Moths are also a spirit messenger. See, here in Colorado, we just had this huge surge of moths everywhere, and everybody's like kind of freaking out about these moths everywhere. But those are spiritual energies. Those are ancestral energies. That means there's something powerful happening in the environment right now. One time I was soul is okay to see. Oh, okay. Cindy Dale has a good book on clairvoyance. I'm not sure if it's her. I see her face though upon waking in my diet. You gotta trust that's her. That's her. Yeah, awakened clairvoyant energy. You love the moths. That's good. I'm leaving them alone. My cats not so much, but I'm leaving them alone. Thank you. I have always felt that calling in my life ever since I was a child. I could tell people's future. Yeah, you're not crazy. No, I know everybody who has spiritual gifts thinks that they're crazy, but you're not crazy. And I think part of this thing that's going to happen in the next 4 months about your sight and seeing something that will literally save your life is it's going to be an awakening of your gift and trusting your gift and knowing your gift and seeing it like literally like, wow, had I not had that vision, you're going to have to report back, Lavender, when you have that happen, because I think it's going to be life-changing for you. The butterfly moth is so pretty. Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen is it the hummingbird moth? Oh, those are really cool. They have flappy wings. And butterflies too. One day on Mother's Day, a butterfly flew in my house. I was if you can watch my video on, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos ago about the butterfly, because the butterfly, what you can do with the butterfly is when you see a butterfly, you can send a message to the spirit world. So say like, I wanted to send a message to my dad and tell him something. I could speak it to the butterfly as it's passing by, and then the butterfly will send it to the spirit world. And when you see that butterfly again, that means your message has been received. That's an old ancient Dene, or what you call Navajo. That's our belief, is that when the butterfly is a traveler, it's the messenger. A hummingbird is similar too. That's how you can send messages. See, everything about the work that I do is about empowering you so that you can directly understand spirit. Because I know everybody the thing about it is the world is changing, and we have to go back to our power. And when you constantly are getting medium readings or spirit readings or this, I mean, those are really good, especially like when you're grieving and stuff and you want to hear a message from your spirit, spirit guides or ancestors or whatever, like that's really good. The problem is when you become like codependent or reliant on it, and you are giving your power now away. And in our new time and in this new generation, it's really about empowering yourself to connect to your gift, your vision, your, beauty, so that you can directly know these things and have your own relationship with spirit, because your spirits are always wanting to communicate with you, and most of you, in fact, I'm going to go say all of you in this room, you're at that doorway where you're ready to really get there, do the work, communicate. That's why we find each other. And like I've said in past lives, we're a global family, we're a community, we're everywhere. And everybody here is in some way, shape, or form, connected. We always say, like, when people sit in ceremony, whether you see each other again or not, you're always connected. I just sent a message today. Oh, good. That was a few years ago. I believe in Native American spirit ways. I had a hummingbird fly and look at me through the window. Me and my mom keep laughing because there's this one hummingbird who keeps flying up to the window, and it's always when I'm at the window. And she's like, how come you're the only one who sees the hummingbird? Because he always comes to me. He never comes to her. But one day he'll come to her. One reading who was very intuitive told me to smudge because scares ancestors away. No, that's not right. Why you smudge? Well, it depends on what herb you're smudging with. But if you're smudging with sage, it's not to scare your ancestors away. It's to clear the sludge. So clear the sludge of your no. What smudging does is, like you're going about in your daily life, you wouldn't think to go outside for weeks, months, years without taking a bath or shower, right? You wouldn't think to do that, most of us. And so what smudging does is it clears the spiritual debris that we have picked up by going into places and spaces where there's a lot of traffic, a lot of negative energies, a lot of sludge. And they get, like little particles, they get stuck to us. And when we smudge, we're just clearing those particles off of us so that, our vibration could be more bright and clear and healthy. That's what smudging does. It doesn't scare your ancestors away. I'm trying to think if there's an herb that would scare your ancestors away. I don't know. Maybe like what's that one? Henbane, or there's some certain herbs that would do that, but not sage. That's what I thought too. But now we have to make sure it's sourced properly, right? Yeah, not hoarded. Yeah, I know the sage thing is a big thing now. I'd say with sage, yeah, if you get it nice and sourced, try to find a native who sells it, who's picked it, who knows where it comes from. And that if they're, see, the problem with sage is that every tribe has a different philosophy on it, a different teaching on it, a different way of handling it. And some are like, no, it's a closed practice. Nobody should sage, right? And that's respected. And then others are like, no, if it's done in the respectful ways, we picked it, we harvested it, we gave offerings to the plant, it's in a ceremonial way. That's the sage you want to get. That's the sage. And you know what I always say about sage is, like, if you need it, it'll come to you. Plants are for everybody. It's not My philosophy is like, if a plant comes to you, then you should honor it and use it in the sacred ways, because there's a reason that medicine came to you, and plants are for everybody. Now, the problem is we have this like new age consumerism and greed that's happening, and that's the problem. No, thanks for the heart. Thanks, Constant Chaos. Yeah, that's good, Ramtan. You've heard that. Yeah. Oh, sweetgrass is my favorite. Oh my God, sweetgrass for some of my, I know, sweetgrass. I have some grass seeds. I want to grow some, but they're super hard to grow from grass. Yeah, good. Candle blew up behind me church yesterday. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds like a message for sure. I would look into that and see what happened. I literally just found you and was drawn to watch your beautiful soul. Much love from Paula near Stonehenge. Oh my God, Stonehenge. Hello, Stonehenge. Well, I'm so glad you're here. You know what's funny about that? This is how synchronicity works. Just the other day, I was on TikTok and there was a live of Stonehenge. And then now, somebody comes in from Stonehenge. There's synchronicity. Good. All right. Oh, thanks for all the roses, Blissful Oracle and Ramtam. Awesome. All right. Hi, Judy. Okay. So is there any other questions? That's a message for sure. I know, I want to go to Stonehenge. But the thing about Stonehenge that kind of made me sad, and I think maybe you have to pay more, or I don't know what they do, but you can go after when all the tourists leave, and you can maybe do a private tour or something, and you can go to the stones. I don't know if you can, you probably can't touch them, but you can go closer to the stones because you know how it's blocked off. And I was like, if I'm going to go to Stonehenge, I'm going to go close as possible to those stones. And I don't know, like in Egypt, you can pay to do ceremony in the pyramids, but I don't know if they allow that in Stonehenge. But Stonehenge is a doorway. There's many doorways to Stonehenge. And I think that if you could do stuff at Stonehenge, it would be life-changing. But I don't know if they allow that. You probably have to pay like millions of dollars or something. You go through the portal. Yeah, you go through the portal. But the thing about it is that there are other stones that are actually more powerful than Stonehenge and probably less known. But there are other places, because I had a friend, she was from Italy, and she was telling me about the different stones on these different islands and stuff and how powerful they were. And I was like, yeah, like there's a lot of powerful places in that side of the earth. And the stones, yeah, the Outlander. Oh yeah, I like that show where she falls through the stones. Yeah, probably works for some, not others. Yeah, I've already developed. Yeah. When I was a youngster, we used to have Pix Nice there before it was famous and it wasn't blocked off. I've sat on the altar stones even as a child. It felt special there. Now that's cool. She sat on the altar stones as a child. See, before places get famous, it's like Sedona. It's like all these powerful spaces. It's before they get famous is when they have the most power. So like even to the Dene people, like really, if you want to go to power spots, you go to Monument Valley and you go to those other places like Chaco and places like that. Those are places of real spiritual power still. But everybody goes to Sedona. And then Sedona is still powerful, of course, but it's funny because like there's a joke. It's like, oh, all the spiritual power is over there. Don't come over here. They send you over there instead of where it really is. There are stones all over the world, ley lines. Yeah, exactly. There's stones all over the world. There's ley lines all over. And there's a place on the reservation, and it's not glamorous or anything, and there's just like some back road to it, but that's the real power spot. And it even has a sign like that, somebody, like how like a garage sale sign where you just put garage sale in a magic marker, it looks like that. And it just says power spot. And of course it's not known to anybody except for people passing the reservation, but that's the power spot. Like that's really the power spot. That's where you want to go. My mother once told me she believed fairies helped her fly for a couple minutes and feel the younger. I don't like that. See, it's when we're young, all the magic is like she had to sit on these magical stones as a child, and it was beautiful energy. It's not the same now. It's been abused for making money. I know that's the sad thing, is they take these powerful places and they make it like a Disneyland, and then it like the spirits leave. That's what ultimately happens is the spiritual energy is still there. It's just like diluted now because the spirits will leave. It's just like with Sedona. Like all the spiritual energy used to be in Uptown and West Sedona, where all the rocks are, like Thunder Mountain and all those famous rocks that they did all the fancy movies, and John Wayne went and did his cowboy stuff and all that stuff. And then what ends up happening is that the spirits leave because now it's too cluttered up and they can't breathe. So now they're more south. And the more consumerism it gets, the more they leave and they hide. And even one of my friends in Sedona, she said, that she could feel them leaving and retreating. And she was really sad because when she first came to Sedona many, many years ago, it wasn't like that. Now it is. So it's sad because the more they develop, the more consumerism comes in, the more stuff happens, the more the spiritual energy depletes and leaves. Yeah. I believe her because she never told me crazy stories. Just my oh yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure she had that happen. There's a lot of things that we have happen in childhood that are spiritual in nature that we actually don't remember. And so if she remembered that, that has power to it. You once had a weird dream about pyramid shapes specifically being powerful, and I started hovering. Yeah. Pyramids are very powerful. That's why you find them all over the world. Mona said she'd leave too. Yeah, all the empaths would be running for the hills. They're like, hey, what are all these people doing here? Yeah. Oh yeah. In Scottish Gaelic. Yeah. I believe in those stones over there. Those stones are powerful. And the cool thing is they're all over the world. Yes, that happened to my mom. Is probably in the early 50s and the earth was more pure. And now it's a different time. Located on the Isle of Lewis in Scotland, outer Archipelago, Outlander Rail. Energy point markers. Yeah, energy point. And what's cool about those ancient stones that you start discovering, just like the medicine wheel over here, is they knew about ley lines. They connected them all. They're like the Grand Medicine Wheel here in Wyoming, the big one. She's connected to all the ley lines in the world. And nobody knows who built that medicine wheel. Everybody says it was here before we were. So you just think about that as an ancient medicine wheel. And it's connected to all the ley lines, to Stonehenge, to all the sacred places. I live on a ley line. That doesn't surprise me, Constant Chaos, that you live on a ley line. I think everybody probably here on this life is some way connected to ley lines. So we have like Stonehenge, we have all these places. We've been here back in 2020. It was gorgeous. Oh, Sedona? Yeah, Sedona is beautiful. I love Sedona. Stonehenge, I haven't been to Stonehenge. One place I haven't really visited a whole lot that I really want to visit is like what you're talking about, Scotland, Ireland. I have been to England, but I love the part of England where it's like those small towns. That's got a lot of charm to it. But like Europe has a lot of cool places. South America has a lot of good places. There's so many good places in the world. Shasta, yep, Shasta is a big vortex. A lot of people go to Shasta, then Sedona, then Hawaii. There's like a whole crew that cruises in and out of those ley lines. And see, the thing about a ley line is that the people who go to the ley lines and the power spots, especially when you're spiritually activating, then you receive all that spiritual energy. And then when you go home or you go to your friends or family or you go to other places, you're like giving that energy. And then it's funny because a lot of times like people will say, I went to Sedona and then I told all my friends and then now all them, they want to come. So it's like you bring them to the ley line. So you're in a way like a walking vortex. You're a walking portal. You're a walking energy ball. You know, it's a really cool thing. All right. Should we do another reading? I think I'll do a couple more readings. It's kind of a chat and readings in between. Okay, so if you want a reading, put up an emoji. You feel really close to the Ute ancestors in the Arches National Park. Yeah. Have you been to the Four Corners? Have you been to oh man, why am I thinking of Montezuma Well, not Montezuma? Like, oh yeah. Mesa Verde. Have you been to Mesa Verde? Is there a town or city near Sedona that you can suggest that's not too expensive to live, but is still spiritual? Yeah, Sweet Pea is Rimrock. Rimrock is where Montezuma Well is. That's why I was thinking of Montezuma Well, because she was asking this question. Montezuma Well, Rimrock, Camp Verde. Camp Verde or Rimrock, I would look into. Yeah, those are my favorite. There's also Cottonwood, but Cottonwood's not as spiritual. But you know, when you're living in those places, you're like 20, 30 minutes outside of Sedona. Cornville is another one. I was born in 1966. The world has changed. I'm in a small village. Stonehenge is in walking distance, and our village is on the Pauline too. Ain't that something? Well, I'm so glad you found us. That's awesome. You're bringing all that ancient Stonehenge energy. All right, let's see here. Let's see. All right, let me ask the spirits who they want to connect to. Okay. All right, keep throwing up emojis. Let's see. I haven't seen it yet. All right. So if you want a reading, just keep throwing up an emoji. Try a different one. Try a different one until we get it. Ley line, yeah. We talked about all kinds of stuff tonight. Ancestors, grieving, ley lines, all kinds of stuff. Clairvoyance. All right, keep throwing them up. Oh man. Okay. Let me pick one here. All right, I'm gonna go with Mona because Mona is getting the color. No one's getting the exact emoji, but I'm gonna pick Mona. All right, Mona, are you ready? Hi, Liberty. Somehow your profile just popped up. You might be next. Okay. Are you ready, Mona? Unfortunately, on YouTube, there's a delay, so I'm gonna wait a second. Okay. So I'm gonna start connecting to Mona. Okay, she's ready. All right, let's see what the spirit world says for Mona. Okay, so Mona, you know that song, what is that song? Get out of my head. How does that song go? Into my car. I think it's from the 80s. But it's talking about like getting out of your head. That's what they're saying. It's like getting out of your head and going for it. Don't procrastinate, do it. Because I feel like there's something in your life right now that you are debating or calculating. Billy Ocean, yeah, that song, you know. Yes. Go listen to that song. It'll give you a better, clearer thing of what I'm trying to say. But what they're saying is that instead of thinking about it, do it. Make the decision. This is the year you're going to make a big life-changing decision. And the way that you do it is through doing it, not thinking about it. Because the more you think about it, the more you procrastinate about it, the more you calculate, the more you hem and haw about it, the less likely you are to do it. And they're saying you have a tendency to get stuck in your head. And this is the year of action. So, whatever, and they're saying something specific around a move or changing something. So if it's not like physical moving, it's changing something in your environment, which could be, redecorating, landscaping, something that changes your environment. And instead of just like hemming and hawing about it, it's like making it tangible and doing it. And that's going to be very important for this year because it's going to help you for next year. And I don't know if you're writing a book or something with writing, but you're supposed to be writing something as well. So I hope that helps you. Billy Ocean. Yeah, what is that song? It says, hey, you, get out of my head. And it doesn't say get out of my head and into my car. I think that's what it's saying. But that's the vehicle, that's the driving, that's the moving forward, that's the get out of your head and into the reality of it. You're welcome. This is a movement year. It's like a lot of people are going to be moving things around. And sometimes it's by universal force, and sometimes it's through a decision we make. Well, a lot of our readings today are about life decisions. Get out of my head and into my bed. I don't know what I can only hear the get out of my head and get into my car. I think it's into my car, right? No. But that's the way I interpret it. It's like moving forward, moving through, and that's for everybody. It's like get out of our heads and into our cars. Get out of my dreams and into my car. I think that's the spirit world. Get out of my dreams and into my car. It's into my car. Yeah, not your bed. Okay, Nicole. Okay, let's not change the song. Get out of my dreams and into my car. Because you think about it, like we all dream something and we can stay in the dream. Into my heart. Judy says into my heart. Get out of my dreams and into my heart. Yeah, wishful thinking. Yeah. Get out of my dreams, get into my cars. I'm literally sleeping in my car the past week. Wow, ain't that something? Mona said she's been sleeping in her car this past week. Ain't that something? And that's the song that Spirit gave us. Yeah. See, you're moving, your dreams have to move forward now. In getting out of your head in the calculation of it. Yeah. And that's something. That's spirit. See, that's spirit. That's not human, that's spirit. Because I don't even know the words of that song, but I know it's something about dreams and car. Yeah. But what's interesting, Mona, is that you say you've been living in a car. It's like the car is the vehicle to move you to your dream. So while you're in that space, it's really about going back to what is your dream and then now making a reality, not being in your head about it because you don't have time to be in your head. It has to be action oriented. And now, just by that little coincidence or synchronicity, that the spirit world has you. They're going to support you. They're going to help you. They're going to make it possible. But it's just about the actions that you take and the decisions that you make. April says, I've been having issues with my right eye. Right side is to give, correct? Yeah, right side is giving, right side is masculine, right side is about the doing. So where are you doing and not receiving? And then with sight, are you not seeing something that's right in front of you? You know what, April? Oh, sorry. I think this thing. Okay, are you back on? April, for you, you're gonna need to do a nature walk and a nature offering. So I want you to take your tobacco and go out on the land and do a nature walk and clear. You need to clear your head. It's a little too cluttered. Told right side is future. Maybe. Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I know in the hand reading, there's like a future and a past thing. Yeah, I think that's in hand reading. I don't know if that's connected to eyes though. Could be. Could be. Could be. Left is past. I know in hand reading it is. When you're reading somebody's hand, but energetically, I don't know. I've not heard that. Because I'm not sure how you would connect that. Like, a lot of times people have like ringing in their left or right. So I don't know how that would be past and future. I have to think about that one. That's interesting though. Yeah, April. Clear your mind. Clear your mind. And the rest will follow. See, a lot of times for me, because I'm also like, I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, clairaudient. I have all the clairs, right? Because I'm a shaman. But a lot of times when I'm doing readings or connecting to people, like songs come. And I know a lot of you are like that too, is like songs will come and the songs, give meaning. And then you have to interpret the meaning, just like everything. All right. Does anybody else have questions? Just like questions. It could be personal, but just don't ask me questions like, is so-and-so coming back? They're not coming back. Luckily on our lives, we don't have that kind of population here, but I know that's a popular question. Is so-and-so coming back? Is, no. See, I know we got a cool audience here because people are laughing. They know what I'm talking about. The nice thing about the people who usually come into our lives is like, you're looking for something deeper. You're looking to grow and expand and transform and understand spirit. What is written on your board behind you. I get songs I never hardly hear when walking like 30 years ago. Oh, when waking like 30. Yeah. I know that's when you know it's spirit, is when it's some weird song that you haven't thought about or heard or remembered or don't even know. And sometimes there'll be a song and I'll say it and they'll be like, oh yeah, I know that song. I love that song. That song is awesome. Your daughter is traveling abroad this summer. Is she coming back transformed with more direction? I think yes and no. I think yes, she will have more direction, but where she gets stuck is implementing that direction. Like your daughter has great ideas and visions and hopes and dreams, but where she gets stuck is on how to implement it because it starts off too big. And where she struggles is what's the daily steps, right? The discipline that's necessary or needed. And that's going to take some time for her to cultivate for herself. Yes, it's definitely spirit. My mom connects with me through my dreams through music only. Yeah. I'll hear a certain part of a song loop and now I go look up the lyrics and I can connect the dots most times. It used to run me crazy at first, but now I get it. Yeah. Yeah. When you look it up, a lot of times the song lyrics are actually different than what you thought. I've ever had that happen. You're like, I've been singing the wrong lyrics to that song all these years. I guess I can't connect another way. I tried. She promises to communicate. I have difficulty connecting. Hmm. You know, spirit connection takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to perfect. And it's never perfect. So if you really want to develop yourself and your spiritual gifts, you have to go out into nature as much as possible and get away from people. That's the best way to develop your gifts. I agree. I wish she would let me help her. She is so stubborn. Mm. You know, people only receive help when they're ready. So just let her be and she'll figure it out. She's a smart girl all the time. Oh, yeah. Somebody wanted to know what my board says. And this is how I know the people I attract because I write it on my board. See, it says, I now only attract and work with people who fully honor the Great Spirit. So if you're on this live and you're connecting, is because the Great Spirit brought you here. And you honor the Great Spirit. That's why we connect. And every time I have something different on the board, but that's the energy I'm working with right now. Is because yeah, I definitely honor the Great Spirit, no doubt, on the daily, right? Thank you. I weekend, but it seemed like a disaster. I took a cousin with me and she seemed like she was not giving us good energy. Oh man. Yeah, I think that's why you need a clearing, April. Like get out of town and get away. Go back to self, and you're somebody who absorbs energy and you've been around people who aren't on that same frequency, you have to take some time to clear off. And that's why it's hard to connect to people, especially, when you're in a certain frequency and energy, is because, not everybody is on that same page. Oh, you're welcome, Ramkin. I appreciate you. And that's why I like doing these lives, because we connect. Everybody on these lives, we're connected. Clear quartz will move energy fast. Yes, it will. I haven't been on in a few weeks. I'm glad I dropped in today. I'm glad you dropped in too. Welcome back. And if you ever want to watch any of the previous live streams, you can go to my YouTube channel and they're all there. There's a library. You just click on lives. All right. So we're just going to do questions now. If you have a question and you want a little reading, drop your question. And then I'm going to end the live after that. And Horace is still chasing my moth. My cat is still looking for that moth. I forgot who had the moth connection, but all right, we'll give you another minute. Oh, your job future, fire angel. All right, let's see what your job stuff is going on. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to decline you. I'm gonna go with fire angel here. Sorry, Mom. Okay, so the first thing before I can connect to your job future is I need you to take a nice deep breath in and out. There's a lot of anxiety and fear around your job situation. So first we need to clear that. So take a nice deep breath in and out. Okay, and let's go back into it. Okay. So the thing about your job situation is, first and foremost, you need to update your paperwork. So whether that's your resume, your cover letter, whatever it is that you're sending out to people needs to be updated and polished. The next thing they're saying is that you need to only apply for things you really want. Like you have to get more clear on the direction and not be like aiming for everything, but just continuously look for the ones that light you up and draw you like a heart magnet, like you're drawn to it. And that's what's gonna That's what's going to be the most successful for you. You'll be binge watching. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, you're a hot mess, Amanda. Well, I'm glad you stopped in too. Oh, thank you, Swati. Crystal is asking, will she ever heal mentally? Yeah, you're welcome, Fire Angel. It's just a heart magnet. The thing is that you're so gifted. You need to really own that gift. You're a powerful person, you're a gifted person, you're a talented person. Any job would be lucky to have you, and you don't have to settle for something that you don't want to do. Okay, that's what I want you to remember is don't settle. Go for the ones that really light your soul up, because then you have more energy, more passion, and spirit will open that door for you. Will we always have the same spirit guides, or do they come and go and new ones come in? Yeah, Judy, like spirit guides, they come and go. You have new ones, you have old ones, you have ones that'll be with you for a lifetime, and you have ones that are there for transitions and things like that, and ancestors when people pass, and that, and the other. But in shamanism, the goal is to build spiritual power, so building spirit guides. So the more you work with spirit and the more ceremony you do and the more energy you put into your path, the more spiritual power you have. And the more spiritual power you have, the more spirit guides you have. And so, like, say, for instance, like I work a lot with people's ancestors. And if I help their ancestors, their ancestors now will help me, because we've now formed a relationship, a connection, and they're like friends. And so when I need something, they're going to come help me like a friend. That's how it is. Let's see here. Oh, I was going to go back to Crystal. Will I ever heal mentally? You know what the spirit world is saying is that there's nothing wrong with you. That's the thing you have to know is there's nothing wrong with you. You're a very sympathetic, empathetic, kind, and loving person. And this world can sometimes drive you like insane, like all of us. It can sometimes lead you to become very sad, depressed, lonely. It'll mess with you because there's nothing wrong with you and everything wrong with the world. So what I would encourage you to do more is to strengthen your, I want to say, courage, and not be afraid of the world. Like, reestablish your trust in the world, and that's what's going to help you heal, because there's nothing really wrong with you. It's just that sometimes the world becomes overwhelming for you. And when you have more courage, strength, fortitude, and trust, then automatically things will shift for you. Oh, you needed this kind of encouragement. You're welcome, Fire Angel. I think the thing about this job market right now is don't feed the trolls, because the trolls of the world will tell you, oh, we're in a recession, we're this, that, and the other. And maybe we are, I don't know. But don't let that stuff determine your future, because doors are constantly opening. They're always opening. Now let's just open them in your favor. Don't laugh, but when will I get my classic car? Oh, it's a dream of mine. I can feel the wind in my hair. I can feel the wind. That's the first part of it, right? I'm actually getting a number for you. It's like within 2 years. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else on YouTube. It's not freezing. Okay. Liberty. Is there anything I should hear today? Constant chaos. Is there anything you should hear today? Amanda, I'm going to go up to Amanda. She asked the first question. Is there calm coming July? In July, it's going to be much more calm. It's not going to be so for you. You need some rest, though. Amanda, I'm going to tell you, get some rest. Get some rest, clear your mind, and just go through this next month. And come July, like especially July 4th, you're going to feel a little bit of that pressure relief. And they're also saying, like, the finance stuff. I think there's something going on with financially for you. And, it's like, this is the way they're saying it to me, is making do without. So whatever that means for you. Maybe some things you're going to have to delay or wait because of finances, or you're going to have to make do without those things. It's like going back to simplicity, but come July, you're going to see something change financially for you. Okay, now I'm going to go to constant chaos. Is there anything I should hear today? What they're telling me for you is that it's more about like keep going, don't stop. I feel like you have a pattern of what do you call it? Stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. Don't do that. Whatever it is that you're working towards, just keep going at it and chipping it away layer by layer by layer by layer, because they're saying keep going, don't stop. Thank you. You're welcome, Amanda. Should I apply at the other spa in town I work that more popular to increase my clients? You're welcome, Constant Chaos. No. I know. I was like, I know there's like a yes you want to say, but I'm hearing no. And so what I will say for you is they're saying you need to develop your own clients through another marketing way. And perhaps you'll change spas later, but not now. They're saying like right now it's good. Are you trying to start your own business, or do you have your own business? Because that's the direction I see you heading in. Come to Tobias. I know I saw your message, but you retracted it. Okay. You're welcome. Are you starting your own business, Ramtam? Have you thought about it? Are you working on it? Because that's the direction I see you going. All right. Anybody else have a question? You have your own clients. I know it. I know. See, the thing that drives you crazy is consistency, consistent business. So you have to believe in yourself, believe in your abilities, believe that you can do it. Because ultimately that's what you want, is you want your own freedom, you want your own time, you want your own ability to make more by doing less. That's the goal. Oh, if you have a message from spirit, come to be. Okay. Let me see. Let me go to your question, because I know you want a question. You have an answer. So, it's like when you were talking about Stonehenge and stuff, the message that I got from your spirit, which the spirit guide that's coming through is like an old grandmother with white hair. And she's telling me that you are somebody who holds energy for other people and places and spaces. So I would say you are, I guess what they call an earth worker, like where you go, you help heal the land and the people through your vibration. You don't even have to do anything. It's just vibrationally doing it. But in that same regard and respect, you're someone that can easily trigger other people. So you're easily misunderstood. And that can be something that can be like a pain for you. and also a blessing. So people will either love you or hate you. And that's kind of a blessing because then you know like who's for you and who's not for you. And she's saying like, trust that always. And I'm hearing the word forgiveness. Forgive yourself for the things that you think you did because you didn't do them on purpose. And they're saying, you know what I mean. Okay. Okay. When they said to keep going, was it about my work, home, or people? Because I'm working on three. It's all three of them. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what stops your success, constant chaos, is that you stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. It's like pick the consistency and be consistent and disciplined and do daily action. You're going to see a lot of success in your life when you do that. That's the thing that's missing from your life that causes you misery, is the stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. And that comes from insecurity and lack of courage, lack of doubt. So you have to overcome that for your success. Crystal's asking, will I ever find my soulmate? Well, first of all, you are your soulmate, right? I know. But will you find an actual soulmate, like a life partner? Yeah, they're saying yes, you will. Don't give up on love. But first, embody your self-love. From there, you'll attract the right person because they're saying in your past, you have not attracted healthy people. Why do little frogs keep coming into my room? Frogs represent cleansing. Or that you're going through a spiritual cleanse or emotional, usually emotional cleanse. But also, if you're looking to attract love, frogs call their partner out through ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. So you can use that energy and that frequency to attract love too. But it's frogs are really attached to, connected to cleansing, cleaning. So you may even think about in your room that they're going to, where do I need to clean it? And that's, physical cleaning as well as spiritual cleaning, like a good smudging. Oh, you're welcome. Come to bed. You come to bed eyes. Sorry, I keep reading that wrong, but come to bed eyes. I'm so glad you joined us here. You are actually a very powerful being, your vibration. And I think a lot of people can relate to that if you're like, you have that certain vibration, which everybody on here has it in some way, shape, and form, is that people either love you or hate you. You can't help it. People, because your energy, your vibration, when you're a healer, people love it or hate it. They don't all want healing. Let's see here. Oh, you're relating, Audrey. Welcome. You're welcome. What does it mean when spiders keep nesting on back doors? Spiders are sacred. Spiders are connected to Spider Woman and the teachings of Spider Woman and the grandmother. And so if you're having spiders and you don't want them, then you can either relocate them or ask them. First, I ask them to relocate. Usually they don't. And then if you have to, relocate them. But spider medicine is about creativity, inner power, writing. If you're a writer, spiders work with you. Creation, manifesting. Spiders have a lot of ancient power. Spiders are creative and patient. Yes, they are very patient. You relate intensely. I'd like to know if I'll ever find someone too, Amanda. Amanda, they're telling me you're still healing your heart. So you had former partner or partners that you're still healing from. And it looks like 8 months from now is a good time to find love. Right now, no. That makes sense. I want to paint, but I want to keep them outside. Oh, you have a spider named Thing. As a healer, then how do you navigate that love you, hate you dynamic? You detach. You detach. Thank you, SongBirdGrandMother. I appreciate your gift. Much love. You're welcome, Mona. You're welcome, everybody. I think that's the hardest thing because as a healer, you're also sensitive. And of course, you don't want to hear people tell you bad things, reject you, be nasty. Nobody likes that stuff. But the biggest thing a healer has to work on is their stamina and fortitude, and also your ability to handle rejection and, those unhealed trauma stuff. And so the first thing I always teach my students is like, detach from what other people think of you or say to you. Like, don't care. You can't care. Even if it's good or bad. Like, if you attach to good and not bad, or bad and not good, it's still harmful. So you want to just detach, because the more you know yourself, the less other people matter. The less other people's opinions matter, the less what they say matters, the less all that stuff matters. Because when you know thyself, none of that is going to change who you are, because you know yourself. And when people come at you and they attack you and they want to bring you down and they want to hate on you and all that stuff, it doesn't bother you because you know who you are. Now, you may get sad, or you may, especially because it's usually the people you know the best, your friends and family, those are the ones that hurt the most. But when you can just kind of, what's that, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me, or something. If when we're children, we say those things and they're really powerful. But as adults, we forget those things. Is whatever you say to me sticks back on you, or something. Like, there's like little sayings that we as children say that I'm thinking of right now as you're saying that. And we have to just let it roll, let it go, let it flow. Don't let people's words hurt you or stop you from your path. Let's see. Sweet Pea's asking, should I try to move this year? Yeah, words do hurt. Words hurt, but we have to heal that. Okay. Sweet Pea, should you move? I think your moving is closer to next year, not this year, right now, unless something dramatically changes. But they're saying like next year, closer to next year. So it could be like more end of year, beginning of year. Yeah, that's it. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say to me bounces off me and sticks to you. You remember saying that as a child? Because we knew that as children, we knew that. And as adults, we forgot it because the teenage years came in. All righty, everybody. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pop off. It was really fun connecting to everybody. Please join me on my other social medias, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that. I'll be on next Monday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you haven't seen some of my other lives, you can join them all on YouTube. They're all in there. And you're welcome. All right. Good night, everybody. Many blessings. Bye, YouTube.